Hey everyone, welcome back. My name's dustinkreis, and I am a failure. I said if I did not have my Fire Emblem game discussion video up by Thursday night that I was a failure, and I really was. Turns out it takes a little longer to get through the last couple chapters of Fire Emblem than I anticipated, and well, let's just put it this way. I don't like losing units, and one day, or actually 2 days, I spent 4.5 hours trying to get past one board. Yeah. So anyway, I'm on the final chapter, and as soon as I get done filming this video, I plan on going up there and just knocking that out. So hopefully tomorrow I will have that video up. But anyway, I just got done doing some pickups, and I thought, hey, let's get this stuff filed away because the game room is a mess. I have been very slubbish here recently, and I've just not been putting things away, and I really need to clean this shit up. So in addition to cleaning everything up, I want to get this stuff filed away. This isn't really a March pickup video because there's still big ticket items coming in March, like Pandora's Tower and Bioshock Infinite, that I want to pick up along with some other things. But I just got a nice little pile here, and I figured, hey, let's do it. So let's start off with something I've already shown off, and that is I have picked up Etrian Odyssey 4, Legends of the Titan. And I've thrown this in and played a couple hours of it. Basically, when Fire Emblem starts really pissing me off and I start cursing at it, I put it down and then put this in and play it. And man, I've been having a great time with this. If you guys have not picked this up, this is fantastic. Even for people who don't necessarily like dungeon crawlers, I would say give this a go. Because even if you get it and you don't really like it, it is an Atlas release, and these tend to be somewhat smaller in print run and kind of sell out fast, and then the prices go through the roof. So even if it's not your cup of tea, you'll at least have something that will be worth something that you can trade down the road. But Great game. I love the map drawing mechanics, and I really thought that would slow everything down, but I'm having a great time drawing my maps and just making it through this game, and I'm really hoping to finish Fire Emblem tonight, so tomorrow on my day off I can just dive straight into this and not come back out for a while. Went to the game store that I always go to, and I always find stuff, and tonight I really found some great stuff. I mean, I just picked this stuff up, so it still has the price stickers on there, so you guys can see what I actually paid for these things. Found a copy of Front Mission 3 for $8, and I've been looking for this for a long time, and yes, I could easily buy it on the internet, but there's just something about finding it in a game store, and I've found this in a game store a few times, but it's always missing the manual. So I found this one in there. I need to put a new plastic case on it, but that's no big. I have a bunch of extra ones anyway. But the manual's in great condition. The disc is in great condition. So I'm really happy with this. I finally found it, and looking forward to throwing this in eventually. So Front Mission 3. I need to get Front Mission 2, and I think it was Japanese only for the PS1. But I have 4, and I have 1 for the DS and for the Super Famicom, so and Front Mission Evolved, if you can count that. Sorry, Chance. But I love the Front Mission series, so I finally got that. Did something. I wasn't sure about picking these up, but then I remembered I had fun with the second one, and they were all pretty cheap. So in the last pickup video, I showed off. Somewhere. Oh, there it is. It's right behind me. I picked up Genma Onimusha, and I really loved the first Onimusha game. And then, so when I was at the store, I saw that they had Onimusha 2 for $2, so I picked that up. They had Onimusha 3 for $4, so I picked that up. And then Onimusha Dawn of Dreams, which I think this is like, supposedly kind of bad, if I remember correctly. I don't know. Maybe it's just, you know, too much Onimusha. But pick that up as well. I think there's one. Isn't there one on the 360? Or is this a downscale? I can't remember. But I'm going to have to look out for that one too. I really love the Onimusha series. And of course I got rid of all of them. I had 1 and 2, never bought 3, and never bought this one. So it'll be nice to kind of have some new Onimusha to go through. But got those. Watched a video by Metal Jesus Rocks. And it was he was talking about compilation discs. And there was one out there that I really wanted to get. And I can't remember if this is the one that has it on there. But there's a game, is it King of Dragons or is it Knights of the Round? It might be both of them. I can't remember which one's Konami and I can't remember if they're both Capcom. But I know that Knights of the Round is on one of these compilations. And that's the Capcom Classics compilation. Got it for $8. A bunch of old arcade ports. I'm really kind of getting into these arcade compilations. And yes, you can probably get a lot of this stuff on the virtual console and all that stuff. But it's nice to have these discs. And just a bunch of great old arcade classics. There is a Volume 2 that I'm going to have to look out for as well. But I did pick that up for $8. Pick this up. Sorry. Ooh. Maybe I better get swig a little Heineken here. Heineken, fuck that shit. Pabst Blue Ribbon. Pick this up because I'm a huge fan of the game, and I've never actually played the extra scenario, and that is Silent Hill 2 Restless Dreams. Just something to add to my Silent Hill collection, because I tell you what, guys, Silent Hill 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. It's just a fantastic story, fantastic visuals. They might be a little dated, nowadays, but when this game came out, I remember just sitting there in awe of it. Especially when you played Silent Hill 1 and then the jump to this. It's mind-blowing. I really wish they would make a movie out of this, because this would make a fantastic movie. As long as they don't overdo it and they really stick to the sort of heart-wrenching story that this has. It really does have the best story in Silent Hill. So pick that up for $6. And then the final thing I picked up there, I hear that this is kind of a bad game, but I remember somebody talking about it. I think it was TV and Lust. Talking about, yeah, it might, it has its negative sides to it, but it still has some interesting things to, see and do in it. And it was $3, so I said, what the hell? Advent Rising for the Xbox. Third person, I guess a third person shooter. I don't know if I'll ever get to this, when I'll get to this, but I just thought, I'd throw it in and have a shot at it. And I wonder if I can still win the $1 million, considering that GameWorks is one of the sponsors of the contest starts 6/9/05, so we're going to say it's probably done. But since GameWorks is gone, I'm pretty sure that can't do that anymore. So, but anyway, picked that up. Did a trade with Chance, and I did a video where I showed the stuff that I got. But I wanted to talk about this for a little bit. Because one of the items he sent to me, I actually broke. And I was going to make a video on the repair of it, but then I wasn't happy with how the video turned out. So I didn't do that. But he sent me a PS2 Slim as a backup for when my big fat 11-year-old PS2 finally kicks the bucket. And it works and everything's fine. Chance sent me a working system. I broke it. Let me point that out. Because I took it apart to clean it. And there's some things I have issues with this particular model of the PS2. One is the power button up here is really easy to break if you take this thing apart. Now, I know, blah, 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 you're not supposed to take them apart, yada, 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 but, when the system is dirty and needs cleaned out, you have to take it apart to clean it out. And when you take the lid off, it doesn't kind of lift straight up. It kind of has to lift out. And the way that the switch is made, it's really easy to knock the actual button off of the little circuit board that it's on. And I tried for hours and hours and hours to solder that thing back together, and finally I just gave up. Looked on eBay, and you can find replacements for that switch. I mean, that's how prevalent of a problem it is that they very easily you can find a replacement for that switch. The only thing is, the IR port won't work anymore because it doesn't have that sensor, which I don't use a DVD. It uses for DVDs anyway. I use my PS3. So I won't be able to use a remote, which I don't have anyway. But another issue I have with this system is Sony's decision to use these kind of power ports on the back to plug into the wall. These things fucking suck. They're on every laptop, and like a year or two into having your laptop, they just break, and you have to go get it repaired. And I'm just, there is a little bit of a short with this port. Basically, I just have to jostle the wire in there a certain way. It kind of scares me a little bit because, I'm going to be in the middle of a play session and then it just shifts a little bit and the power goes out. So I'm going to have to play with it a little bit. Yeah, open statement to anyone who ever makes an electronic device ever again. That kind of port right there, fuck that shit. Okay, that is a terrible idea. But it works, and it's a backup for my PS2 when it finally kicks the bucket. And, maybe if I just get the wire in there and kind of tape it to it a little bit. These are things we go through with these systems as they get older. But I'm glad to have that. Picked up some movies and some DVDs, and, or music and DVDs. And let's go ahead and start with this. I picked up Local Natives' Gorilla Manor. And if you're a fan of Grizzly Bear, check these guys out. I really love... This album is more of a grower. The song Wide Eyes, if you type in Local Natives Wide Eyes, that is an amazing song. The rest of the album is a little bit more subtle, and it's a little bit more of a grower. But these guys have another album out that I want to pick up, but I just haven't got around to it yet. But definitely check these guys out if you're a fan of Grizzly Bear. This one I've picked up, but I haven't really given it the solid listen yet, so I can't really give an opinion on it. But I love everything else they've done, and they're an interesting band. If you followed them from the beginning, when it was just one guy, it's kind of an interesting band to sort of trace their history, and that's Iron and Wine. And this is Kiss Each Other Clean. Now, when these guys started out, they were very, it was just Sam Bean. And he was very lo-fi, and is very recorded. He recorded the album, in his bedroom, essentially. And then now, all the songs are very orchestral and very, bombastic and things. So it's very interesting to see the progression of this. I want to say bands, but I don't know if it's officially designated a band or if it's still just his solo project with members joining him. But I really need to give this a listen. It's his major label debut, but I love everything else that they've done, so I'm sure I will like that as well. And then finally, final CD, this one was 10 years in the making, 11 years in the making. I don't remember when the last album came out, but I used to really, really, really be into these guys and all the other bands in their sort of collective, and that is Godspeed You Black Emperor, and this is Alleluia, Don't Bend, Ascend. It's been, 10 years since these guys made an album. And while this is fantastic and I really love it, at the same time, it kind of feels like maybe a little bit of diminishing returns. Because it's it's been 10 years. 10 years since these guys have done something fantastic. And while Yankwai, the last album, was good, it wasn't anywhere near Lift Your Skinny Fists, which I think that'll go down as their best album. But, 10 years of hype, not really 10 years of hype, but, 10 years of absence, and then they bring out an album, you're like, oh, this is going to be great. And it is great. The problem is, it's only really 2 songs, and then the other 2 songs are kind of 6-minute little interludes or drone tracks. But the 2 actual pieces of music here, each clock in around 17 to 19 minutes, are fantastic. I just wish instead of... they have a whole CD here, which I know Godspeed puts a lot of stuff out on vinyl. They want to kind of keep it in that, 45-minute mark for the vinyl. I really wish they would have put another track on here, And also, doing some reading, I guess these 2 songs on here have been kicked around for quite a bit. So it's not really new material, I guess. But hopefully they don't disappear again. and you know, maybe in a couple years I'll make another album. But if you're a fan of Godspeed, definitely check it out. It's funny though, if you look on the side of the CD there, or the case there, which you won't see on there, it says Godspeed. Like that's sort of their new little nickname for themselves, Godspeed. So definitely check out Alleluia, Don't Bend to Sin if you like these guys, because it is fantastic stuff. And I just kind of wanted more, I guess. You know, it's like you burn through those 2 tracks and you're like, where's the next song? And there's not a next song. So on the DVD Blu-ray front, I picked up the last pickup video. You would have saw me hold up a Batman Beyond DVD. Turns out that was not the unrated version. Getting the DVD version unrated is kind of very tricky. But the Blu-ray version is the unedited version. And I watched this, and yeah, it still holds up. And maybe the scene that I talk about in this movie isn't as disturbing now as it was when I first saw it. Because I went into it blind, you know, watching it the first time. I was like, holy fuck, what are they doing? But, you know, it's still pretty creepy, and you might want to watch this one before you let the kids watch it, because it is the first PG-13 animated Batman movie. I think Dark Knight Returns parts 1 and 2 are PG-13, and maybe all of them are now, but this was the first one that came out with a PG-13 rating, and it definitely deserves it. So got that. Picked this up, had to pick this up. One of my favorite movies of last year, Skyfall. I love Daniel Craig as James Bond. I love James Bond, period. Even the sort of, you know, dodgy Roger Moore ones. But hands down, I think Daniel Craig is the best Bond. You know, people say, no, Sean Connery, because he originated the role. But for the first time with Daniel Craig's Bond, he feels like a real person. And, you know, you watch Casino Royale, and you see him start, and how he gets wounded in that movie. And then Quantum of Solace, which I actually think is one of the better Bond movies. I know a lot of people don't like it. But it's Bond becoming what he is in the later movies, or the earlier movies, which is sort of this cold, calculating womanizer, you know. Because his broken heart over Vesper is all over that movie. And then Skyfall is him sort of, you know, getting rid of the old him and rising from the ashes to be something new. And I think this movie is absolutely fantastic. I was real worried about Sam Mendes directing it, but man, he knocked it out of the park, and there's rumors he's going to come back for the next one, and I'm so excited. Javier Bardem, what the fuck, man? That guy is like the go-to guy for crazy-ass villains. I love Sylvia in this movie, but if you haven't seen Skyfall yet, definitely check it out. And then sort of to end the video here, I picked this up because it was really cheap, and I'm not much of a car guy, but there are some iconic cars out there, like Bond's DB5, the DeLorean, the Ghostbuster car, the Batmobile, that kind of stuff. I like watching, you know, videos on that. And then, of course, my my favorite car right now is the Aston Martin DB9. And so when I saw this there, and I saw that they had, I don't know if this is actually the DBS or I think it is the DB9 in the video. I can't remember. But I picked up 50 Years of Bond Cars by Top Gear. And I'm not a big Top Gear watcher because, again, I'm not a big gearhead. I'm not really, you know, that into cars. But there are certain cars that I really love. And while this is good, and for the price of $7, it's not, you know, terrible. I guess I was expecting a little bit more out of it. They spent a lot of time on, like, the Aston Martin DB5 and on the Lotus Esprit. And then, like, the car that I wanted to see, which is the DB9, they spent some time on it and talk about the, you know, the stunts and everything. But I don't know. I guess it was good, but at the same time, it's like, oh yeah, $8, who cares? But I did pick that up. So those are my pickups. I don't want to say for March, but recent pickups, so I can get these things on the shelf and get this room cleaned up. But yeah, I'm gonna go out and play Fire Emblem and probably curse the night away. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Take care. I've failed to mention this in the last couple videos. we have a new episode of the podcast up, and I'll put a link down below. We have welcomed in Doomwave's Chance as our permanent third co-host. So, the podcast is really growing, and we just passed 100 subscribers. So for everyone out there who subscribes and watches and comments, thank you guys so much. It's a lot of fun to do that, and hopefully we can keep it entertaining for you guys. But if you haven't checked it out yet, definitely click on the link below and go check us out. We usually do about 1 a month. Sometimes we get in 2 a month. And of course we're going to start the mini-sodes. So that's going to be more content for you guys to listen to if you care to. But yeah, definitely go check that out. But that is it. That is it. Time to go play Fire Emblem. So thanks so much for watching. Take care. I'll see you next time.